Kids, hide your Legos. The FBI is onto you. Unbelievable. No Lego Capitol buildings, no flags, nothing that might actually seem conservative these days. I mean, by the way, how is our flag conservative when you just stand up for your country? And all these things are being effectively considered domestic terrorism. I mean, my gosh, when Black Lives Matter says you can't fly the flag because if you do fly the flag, then it means you're racist. How is this okay? Where is the Democratic Party standing up for their country? Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Trish Regan Show. I am Trish. Please do me a favor. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast. It's really important to me that you do so. It's really important that more voices are heard. Anyway, yeah, the FBI thinks that having a Lego set of the Capitol building is somehow evidence that can be used against you as, somebody who might have had a hand in the quote unquote insurrection. I mean, you just can't make this up. The internet, by the way, is having a field day with us, right? As you can imagine, I want to explain some of that in detail to you. But first, here's a story coming to us out of Utah. Black Lives Matter group out of Utah says that, apparently, if you fly the flag, that's a racist thing. What? I mean, what an aggressive statement coming to us from BLM about the American flag. Let me share with you what they actually said. And I quote, "When we Black Americans see this flag, we know the person flying it is not safe to be around." This is according to a 4th of July post that they wrote alongside an image of the Stars and Stripes. Unbelievable. They went on, quote, "When we see this flag, we know the person flying it is a racist. When we see this flag, we know that the person flying it lives in a different America than we do. When we see this flag, we question your intelligence. We know to avoid you. It is a symbol of hatred." You know, this is not okay. All right. Like, this is not okay. The rant continued in the comment section in the follow-up post where they wrote about why every racist wears the flag and flies the flag is a question. Why is it that every racist group wears the flag and flies the flag? And they said, because it is a symbol of hate. This country has created genocide under that flag. Wow. I have to read you the rest. "We will not pledge allegiance to that flag. We will not stand for the national anthem. We will not respect a piece of cloth that you respect more than Black lives." This is really crazy. Okay. I mean, I don't really know how else to say it other than it's just really, really crazy and dangerous rhetoric. And this is how they spent their 4th of July. How nice, right? I mean, come on. That's how they spent their 4th of July. How did you spend your 4th of July? Let me know in the comment section here below. I mean, I'm curious because I just happen to believe that the 4th of July as an American is kind of a big deal and we need to believe in our country. You want to believe in something, right? You want to believe in that optimism. I happen to love the 4th of July. And actually, we had a really great time. We had a ton of people over to celebrate last weekend. And we had the flag flying, by the way. We had a big barbecue. And just an amazing, amazing, amazing American meal. All, by the way, American produced. And that's relevant because did you know that 80% of grass-fed beef sold in the U.S. is actually imported from overseas? I found that number completely staggering, which is why I'm happy I found this company that I want to tell you about. A really wonderful company with a really wonderful product with amazing. If you're a meat eater like me, you're going to like them because it's 100% American, really outstanding stuff. And I know because I'm really picky, like unbelievably crazy picky about what I eat and what I serve my family. And this is excellent quality meat. GoodRanchers.com is the name of the company. So when you go out to buy your steak and chicken, you get it from the grocery store. You don't really know what you're getting. I mean, again, 80% of grass fed. You think you're buying grass fed. Oh, isn't that wonderful? But 80% of it is coming from locations outside of the U.S. But, when you buy steak or chicken from Good Ranchers, you're not only getting this amazing product, this delicious, outstanding product, but you're also supporting American farms. So you can feel really good at it. My friends at the company at Good Ranchers, they have traveled the entire country. They've sat down and met with the actual farmers that are raising the livestock to ensure that this product that they're sending to your table is the very best. And I should mention all the steaks are individually wrapped, which really eliminates waste, which is great. I mean, as a family, because you'd hate to be throwing out all that food. GoodRanchers.com safely delivers American craft beef, better than organic chicken, right to your door. You can get one, or you can, better yet, subscribe, which I think is really the way to go, because when you do the subscription, I did the subscription. When you get the subscription, you get 20% off. And so you're effectively bringing the cost of each meal, which is important these days, given all the inflation, down to less than $5 a meal. So quality, steakhouse quality, filet mignons for less than $5 a meal. That's pretty good. I love the family feast because I have a big family, right? So it includes a lot of food. They have steaks, they have tenderloin, they have sirloin ribs, chicken, whole lot more. So stop trying to play the grocery store guessing game, right? I mean, how many times have you bought chicken or beef and you thought, oh, this would be great, but then you get it home and, well, it's just not. You should know where your meat is coming from. And with GoodRanchers.com, you can. So do your part, support American farmers. Go to GoodRanchers.com/Trish, because I've worked out a special deal for you guys. You get $20 off, free express shipping. You can use the code Trish. So again, GoodRanchers.com/Trish, or just type in the code word Trish and you'll get that deal. Free express shipping. You'll get the $20 off. Don't forget, if you subscribe, you get the full 20% off. So it's really a terrific deal. And let me know what you think of the product. I mean, I think it's amazing. I wouldn't tell you about it if I didn't think that. So let me know. Try it. Give it a shot. Now let's get back to this crazy, insane, utterly, I mean, there are no words to describe this. I mean, you can't just say that they're not patriotic. They're worse than not patriotic. They really seem to hate this country, right? The BLM doesn't want Americans flying the flag. What is that really? I think it's actually an attempt to destroy the country, right? To tear it apart so they can rebuild it in their image, whatever they want. Now, that never really works, right? Because, I mean, just look at any socialist communist nation all over the globe. It's been tried before. It never works because all of these people are self-interested. There's a motivation behind what they're doing, and they want to see themselves succeed at the expense of everyone else. Meanwhile, what state are we in when the FBI is criminalizing Legos, so to speak? Federal investigators, this story is unbelievable, are being ridiculed for seizing a Lego set as evidence against one of the alleged organizers of the Capitol protests. Robert Morse, 27 years old, is accused of directing other rioters in clashes with the Capitol Police. Mr. Morse, a former Army Ranger. So think about that, a former Army Ranger. And now they're going after him. Had a fully constructed Lego set that represented the Capitol building at his home. Gosh, I mean, I'm pretty sure we have one of those in the kids' playroom in the basement. Maybe they can come after me for that. Court records show that the FBI seized the Capitol building Lego set as evidence, among other items from the suspect's home. By the way, I just want to mention, because if you haven't done so, please do me a favor and subscribe to this channel. Make sure you subscribe to this podcast. It's really important to me that you do. It's important because if you're subscribed, then you get caught up to date, right, on all of the videos that we're doing, on all of the podcasts that we're doing. I'd love it too if you could go to trishintel.com, my website, and sign up for my newsletter, because I want to keep you informed. And it's important in light of this sort of one-sidedness that you go out and seek alternatives. Let me go back to the statement here. During his arrest, law enforcement recovered some clothing and other items that appear to match those that he carried with him on the 6th, including a "Don't Tread on Me" flag, a neck gaiter, a military utility bag, a black tourniquet, and military fatigues. So people kind of had some fun with this on Twitter. It was pretty funny, actually. They got a kick out of sort of the absurdity of the FBI's find, namely the Lego set, right? It's not clear how a Lego set, the Capitol building, could be used as evidence, as, proof that somehow he was responsible for the insurrection, but the FBI seems to think so. I want to point out what Babylon Bee, great website, Christian satirical website, wrote. They said, Lego evidence led FBI investigators to believe Morse was planning a similar attack on Hogwarts Castle. So for any of you people that don't know what Hogwarts is, that would be the Harry Potter castle, because, the Legos. Anyway, I mean, come on. You combine this with the direction that we seem to be heading in. And I guess the message is, no don't tread on me flags, no military fatigues, no pro-America stuff, and no Legos of American landmark buildings. Wow. All right. One more story I want to tell you about, because this is kind of important here. The Federal Reserve is indicating that, they may just not keep the spigot going forever. And that's debatable. We'll see what they actually do, because Joe Biden is looking to have some influence over the Fed and would like to make some appointments. And there's a couple people coming up where he could actually start to really change the structure of the Fed. He is said to want more diversity. And, let's face it, he's going to want people that are going to just keep printing money, because every president wants that. I get it. I mean, I was actually critical of the Fed throughout the Trump years, because I actually thought the Fed, they're always a day late and a dollar short, as the expression goes. But there were times when they really probably should have been moving to tighten, but they didn't. And then vice versa, right? When you need to be aggressive, you go all in and you're as aggressive as you can be. They were pretty aggressive once COVID really seemed to be an economic problem. And I credit them with that. However, now the markets are so used to it that they seemingly ran the risk, the Fed did, of creating a whole other bubble, right? I mean, when you have meme stocks, things like this, and people are not paying any attention to PE ratios anymore, and there's just sort of this crazy run up, you run the risk that you could be in another sort of 2000-like scenario that's Fed induced, right? When you leave rates that long, it means you have that much money out there circulating. It creates things like inflation. And part of that inflation is also within market assets. And so this doesn't surprise me that we've seen this upside. I think it probably actually could continue a little bit longer, because I don't think the Fed is about to pull the rug out from under. I mean, they should, right? They should say, okay, that's the end of it. We're not doing this $120 billion bond buying program anymore. And we're not going to keep rates at such low rates. We're going to change the scenario. And that would actually mean that Joe Biden's economic policy would have to stand on its own 2 feet, which we all know it can't, because it's sort of the reverse of growth. He believes that you just keep taxing people and taxing businesses, and that's how the government will get more money. But in actuality, and you can prove this out in a mathematical equation. Hey, the Laffer curve sort of proved this one, right? My friend Art Laffer during the Reagan years. But also you think back to the first 3 years of the Trump administration before COVID hit. And what did you see? Record tax receipts. Why? Because the government lowered taxes, lessened regulation a bit, but they lowered taxes on individuals and on businesses. And that was a really, really, really big deal. So, they're looking at it, in my view, all wrong. The Fed has been there to backstop. The Fed will probably continue to be there to backstop, because I think there's a lot of political pressure to change out some of these seats, including perhaps Jerome Powell himself. He could find himself replaced when his term is up. And so just remember, there's a desire from this administration, including from Janet Yellen, who was extremely dovish, very dovish herself, to keep that money flowing, to keep printing that money. I think it's healthy. I think it's healthy for them to get out of the bond buying. I think they need to taper. I think that they need to start neutralizing things a bit, because the sugar high, as they say, cannot continue forever. Just a reminder, everyone, please make sure that you are subscribed to this channel, that you're subscribed to this podcast. Make sure you visit me on trishintel.com. I will be there online over the weekend. Have a terrific weekend, everyone. I will see you on trishintel.com. Remember, live free or die, and it is okay to fly the American flag.